Greetings, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Last time we made our way to Soldier's Peak and liberated the place, and we were able to unlock a whole bunch of cool stuff, like a store that sells all the Grey Warden armor of different varieties and types and whatnot. And thankfully it was rather cheap, so that's kind of good. So what I did, I was out of money, but what I did was I went into my storage and just sold off everything that I had been holding on to the entire game that I wasn't using anymore. And I was able to get enough money together to completely outfit almost everyone in the party. You know, Liliana, she's good to go. Morgan's got, and actually, I just want to check this out because this is the rogue version. So it's slightly different than the warrior version. It doesn't have all the extra plates on it, and it looks a bit lighter and scout-like. So it's pretty cool. It actually fits. And then, actually, well, Win has it. You can also see on Win, this is the mage version. So that's a little different as well. It's got, you know, even fewer plates on it, and is much more robe-like. I think it's still considered light armor and not like a robe, but it's very, very light. So it has a little bit of protection on it. It's good stuff. And yeah, so everyone is pretty much outfitted with some really nice stuff, even party members that I'm not using. Like I said, the stuff was cheap enough that I was able to get stuff for everyone. So now I'll be able to kind of, that's like my baseline for gear, and I'll be able to work out from there. So we're all good to go. And so I think today it's time to start working on recruiting another army, and I think the next one is going to be the dwarves. Indeed. So it's time to head underground and head to the Frostback Mountains. Yeah, it's time to head underground and go see what's up with these short little punks. We are going to need their combat expertise, and I'm sure there's no problem going on here in Orzammar. There's no like crazy civil war happening or any other thing. I'm sure that everything's fine, and we'll be able to just walk right in and get their help and walk right out. So this should be a short video, most likely. We are back at the entrance to Orzammar. It's right up there. We did come here before, but we never actually went into it.
Gain will not.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Oh no. I have important business in Orzammar.
None more important than mine.
I'm pretty sure mine's
your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
I have urgent need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Oh, quiet.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Grey Wardens need their traditional dwarven allies.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Oh man, isn't this guy, he's just so diplomatic, right? He just walks up and just starts demanding stuff. I think he missed a few classes in emissary school. What do you think? Intimidate. Run to your false king. The dwarves will not hear him today.
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
I doubt it.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden, though I don't know what help you will find.
Huzzah, we are in.
Atrost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
I kind of like that about the way that the Grey Wardens are structured. They're respected enough that you really want that everywhere you go, people are like, Grey Wardens, I ought to think about this. So it opens doors. It's kind of like the Spectres in Mass Effect, I suppose.
I would love to have some on my mantle.
And Liliana is talking about putting miniature dwarven statues on her mantle. Trinkets.
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
Okay, well, let's figure this place out. Wow, this place looks cool, doesn't it? Probably some of the neatest architecture in the game.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that. Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, so the dwarves worship what they call paragons.
All right.
And paragons are individuals who really existed in the past. Sometimes they're still alive.
Poor old man.
And they did something really great for the dwarves. They weren't gods or anything, but they were just people who did something awesome. Either they were really great warriors, or they created something really important, or they wrote something important, or just kind of like celebrities. So they take like celebrity worship and pretty much to the nth degree. But as you might imagine, that does not sit well with the Chantry.
I haven't eaten in days.
I'm sorry, bro. Sorry to hear. And so yeah, they have all their paragons, and they actually worship equally men and women too, which is kind of cool. It's pretty typical of fantasy of fantasy settings in general.
Which has a great deal in common with my former master.
The Swamp Witch. How original.
The Swamp Witch has the same arrogance, the same air of cruelty. I would hate for it to have possession of my control rod, if it still worked, of course.
Let me tell you what you can do with your control rod, Gollum.
Is it telling me that if the rod did work, that it wouldn't want control over me?
I wouldn't go so far as that. I could, for instance, command you to go and jump in a lake. A very deep lake.
It fools no one. The Swamp Witch would control everything if it could. It would have us all dancing on its strings.
Oh, you know me too well, Gollum. Your revealing gaze has laid me bare.
I will be watching the Swamp Witch. It must not be trusted.
Now you're beginning to sound just like Alistair.
Interesting. Yeah, of course we know that Shale doesn't particularly care for mages, and Morrigan doesn't particularly care for anybody. Except for me. Well, because I'm awesome. But yeah, typically fantasy settings are equal opportunity when it comes to the genders. Which is as it should be, in my opinion. Wow, look at this place.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Well, that escalated quickly. Let's go away, shall we? So clearly, not all is well.
especially in front of outsiders. If I find that sodding fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Yeah, check. This looks like a tree. It's like they're jealous of trees, so they went and carved their own. It does look really awesome, though. I've actually seen this imagery in other text, like in the opening cutscene. I believe there's a tree that kind of looks like this, and I wonder what it symbolizes. Anyway.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Can a city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there. Sort this all out in a hurry.
The proving?
Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate. The true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
Fair suggestion. If I'm going to be protecting these things and requesting their help, I should probably understand them a little bit. Which is, what Duncan would have done. Sounds like Balin and Harrowmont are the ones to talk to.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
You mentioned paragons?
Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us.
Okay.
Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
The Blight is coming, and I need Orzamar's assistance.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
I should get going.
Yes, you should.
Alright, so... Sadly, this is not going to be a short video because there's a civil war brewing, of course. Above ground and below. And we need to sort this out. So let's go ahead and take a tour of Orzammar, see what's up.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
This Balin, is that King Endrin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
What do you know about this Lord Harrowmont?
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont.
Why such hate for Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
Is Harrowmont qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
Who are you?
I am Narav Helmi, 3rd daughter of the 2nd matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger? What brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
I am Ash, a Grey Warden, and I am here seeking aid.
A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean?
I have a treaty compelling Orzammar to aid against the Blight.
A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferender. He might be able to get you an audience.
Well, thank you, random stranger. Appreciate it. Wonder if we have any stores. Yes, this is, I believe this is where the stores are. Commoner, 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 commoner. Nug Wrangler.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
These things dangerous?
You gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say.
If I see any nugs, I'll send them your way.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
The Lost Nug. We have a quest. What's this back here? Nothing? Okay. Little alcove back there. Alright, Orzammar guard.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here.
Yes, you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
Of course I've heard of the Circle.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caithlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
So they can't use magic because of the, but by the way, dwarves mine lyrium and sell it to the chantry. So there's a big kind of trade market associated with them. That's where Orzammar gets its wealth primarily, and I guess exposure to lyrium over time, over many generations, has made dwarves sort of anti-magic users. They don't use magic. They can't. So that is interesting. So what do you want with the Circle?
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
It does actually sound rather equitable. And hey, exchange of knowledge is always good. And another good thing, since dwarves can't use magic, they are not susceptible to demon possession, which, as we've seen, is something of a problem within the Circle Tower. Actually, dwarves would make really good guards for mages, wouldn't they? Because if a mage gets uppity, a dwarf could put him down, because he's not going to be possessed. That's interesting. I don't know why the Chantry never thought of this. I can bring the Circle your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Yeah, you know, I approve. Exchange of information. It's good for everyone.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Have a look at my shop, I hope.
Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium enhanced, of course.
Alright, lyrium enhanced. Oh wow. The Rose's Thorn. It's a dragon bone dagger. Pretty good dagger. Wow, 30% critical strike damage. Don't want to spend too much time in a shop. I know that gets kind of boring. Life Giver. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now that is a really good tanking ring. Definitely got to save up for that. A golden mirror. That is a gift for Morgan. Take that. And we'll take that gold amulet as well. And a gem bracelet. Why not? Large clear crystal. Good stuff for Shale. These are all, yeah, all the clear stuff is pretty awesome, actually. Lightning we don't need. Constitution and health regeneration. That would be kind of good for, yeah, it might be good for Shale. I'm not actually going to buy them, though, because I'm pretty sure you kind of find a lot of that stuff in the game. Tome of Physical Technique, I definitely want, but I cannot yet afford. And I've pretty much sold everything, or have I? Oh, you know what? Actually, I meant to put a lot of this stuff away, but I could sell that, I suppose. Sell that. Selling extra crap. I don't know where I found that stuff. Cold Iron Runes I don't really use, so I'll sell those. Enchanter's Cowl, it's pretty crappy. Libertarian's Cowl, where did I get that? It's a good thing. Need to go back over this stuff. I don't remember finding a lot of this stuff. I must be going crazy in my old age. Charge mids. Well, it's fine. Yeah, so we'll come back to this stuff. And he's noticed he was a little jittery. Let's actually talk to him about it.
Have you seen my lunch? It's a piece of lichen bread with a spread of old cheese and shredded dried meat. I'm only asking because you never know who's going to get hungry.
Are you all right?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself.
Aren't dwarves immune to lyrium's effects?
Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck.
Yeah, so for anyone else, that would have just murdered them. But for a dwarf, just you get a little addled, I suppose. So I don't want to call him crazy. I guess.
Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it.
That's true. Whatever.
Right. Best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
Good voice acting. I mean, yeah, he's got this Rose's Thorn and stuff. It's pretty nice. Decent crossbows and such. I was trying to get out of that conversation without calling him crazy or stupid or weird or anything, but it wouldn't let me. What is over here? This goes down into... Oh, there's a nug. This goes down into the next quarter, but I want to finish exploring this place first. A nug! I wrangled me a nug. They weren't that hard to get. Okay, back up here. Yeah, I got your nug.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell.
I've got a nug for you. Here.
Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Yay! 12 silver. Oh, great. Well, there's another nug. Get it. Get in there, you little bastard. Yeah, there's a lot of these, like, floor carving things and whatnot.
It's big.
Why, thank you. Oh, you mean the... Oh, yeah. It's quite large. Dagna, we talked to her. Filda.
Ancestors.
What's your story?
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
What were you praying for?
My name is Filda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
Safe return? Your son is missing?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Did anyone go after him?
The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by darkspawn that way.
We shouldn't abandon him. I'll look for him if you want.
How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
Probably shouldn't make promises like that. But I'm a sucker for a good excursion, for a good rescue mission. Another Nug. Put him in the box. Get in the box, Nug. And
I hope that is someone being murdered and not simply singing.
Yeah, I think he's referring to the tavern. Commoner. Legnar.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Your allegiance to this Balin is clear. Why?
Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not.
Some say Balin killed his father.
Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade.
Fair enough. Let me see what you have in store.
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Anything? Tome of Mortal Vessel. I definitely want one of those. Those things are expensive, but they are worth it. Remarkable Sapphire. That is a thing for Shale. Golden Simuldraste. That's for Liliana. Flagon, that's for somebody else. That's for somebody else. That's for somebody else. And okay. And I'm just taking a quick look. Nothing too impressive. Some trap plans and such. Okay. Thank you. And Brother Burkle.
Maker's blessing on you, brother.
I didn't think dwarves believed in the Maker.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Don't dwarves worship their ancestors or something?
There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers.
That's their religion. You shouldn't interfere.
You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists?
Well, why would you assume that their own religion doesn't have enlightenment? You know, that's kind of it's a bit prideful. Well, good luck with that. Let me know how it turns out.
Never mind. The Shaper of Memories has refused me so far. I thought perhaps with another advocate. Well, if you have a change of heart, let me know.
Not really interested in spreading more chantry around, to be honest. There's quite enough of that. Not that I find the Dwarven religion any better, but, no, I don't want to go that way yet. But, neither of them seem to be very compelling to me, and so I should probably just stay out of it. Alright, so this is some kind of bar, yeah.
Ugh, just do not buy anything, or touch anything, or sit anywhere.
Probably true. This place is pretty awesome looking, though. You ever see a bar that had stalagmites? Or stalactites? I forget which one is which. I think stalactites come from the ceiling. Alright, so I'm in the Tapper. Is there a Cora? Let's talk to her.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapster's. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
Yeah, it's a proper restaurant. I'd like to hear a bit about the city.
So you come to Tapster's? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view.
What's a Shaperate?
It's the bureau of all the Shapers in Orzammar, led by the Shaper of Memories. If you're from the surface, I guess you'd call them scholars. They keep all of our records, laws, genealogies. You got questions about Orzamar's history, and don't mind answers in words as long as your leg, that's the place to go.
Where can I find the Shaper of Memories?
He'd be in the Diamond Quarter. Pardon, the Nobles District. Upstairs from here, however you call it.
Is there any place I should see while I'm here?
The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castlists build their nests. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving.
What's the Proving?
It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter.
I'd like a drink.
With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have?
A round of your best brew for myself and the house.
Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentis Red for everyone. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
And apparently, a round for everyone costs 1 silver. Jeez, I could buy a lot of rounds. I don't even have that much money. Alright, who's the guy here? Nervous adventurer.
They're everywhere! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends!
Is this darkspawn corruption or just madness?
There's things older than darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass! Take them! I want out! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Oh man, that guy is a little jittery, don't you think? Lord Helmy, what's up?
Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
Things are hardly equal on the surface.
But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
How does the caste system work, anyway?
Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill.
So you get to vote on the next king?
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
Who are you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
I should get going.
As you wish.
Yeah, that's kind of that does kind of rub me the wrong way. I will admit that you have a person is stuck wherever their same-sex parent was. So if your father was a nothing, and you're a son, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be a nothing, no matter how good you are, no matter what you do, and that is. I wouldn't say that's fair. I'm sure they have their reasons for endorsing a system like that, but...
Afternoon, stranger. Looking for a stool to share a brew?
Don't mind if I do.
I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself?
I'm Ash, a Grey Warden.
Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the Deep Roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dunca... something like that.
You knew Duncan?
I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the Deep Roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines.
Who's your fighting unit?
Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live.
You work for Balin?
I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs.
I've never been in the Deep Roads.
Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones.
Who's sending you out?
Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after.
Who else is in the Deep Roads?
Lord Harrowmont's got his own men there, all looking for signs of Bronca. Guess the city's getting to miss having a paragon. Everyone wants someone to put in charge.
Who's Bronca?
Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the Deep Roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
He's a working man. Alright. Well, I think that's all for this place. So let's head on up to the Diamond Quarter and see what's up with that. Where is the Diamond Quarter? That goes to Dust Town. Oh, there's a wall carving. Don't miss the wall carving. Okay, talk to Dagna, talk to Filda, talk to the captain of the guard. I believe that way over there leads to the proving ground. Which way leads to... Yeah, that goes to the proving. Which way goes to the Diamond Quarter? Is it this thing? Well, here's Jenar Armorers. Let's go check out the armor.
And I'm
sure these dwarves make good stuff, as all dwarves in fantasy settings do.
Welcome to Jenar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jenar's, we have everything from leather to platinum.
Oh, right, this is This is Dagna's father, okay. You know anything about what's happening with the king?
I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harriman's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Idukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object.
Are you part of the Smith caste?
Aye, for 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a fall and tacit, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're not a smith yourself.
Wasn't the Paragon Bronca a smith?
That she was. The best to walk these tunnels since Caridin himself. Threw it away, chasing old dreams, though.
Who's Caridin?
The best smith who ever lived, bar none. He gave us the secret of forging golems that could walk, talk, and defend our borders. When we had them, no dwarf had to risk himself against the darkspawn. It was a golden age for the smith caste. His work was lost centuries ago when his tide fell to the darkspawn. No one even knows where it is anymore.
Interesting. That might have some significance to Shale. What do you mean Bronca threw it all away?
Didn't last 6 months as a noble before she set into the deep roads looking for ancient secrets. Now she's dead in the tunnels. All that brilliance, wasted.
Jannar, do you have a daughter named Dagna?
Aye. Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go.
I'd like to help her study with the mages.
Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
Well, now I've seen his side of things, and I've realized that I might be interfering with a family, and I'm not quite so sure that's my place. However, I do think it would be a good idea, both for the dwarves and the circle, in the long run. So there is that angle to think about. Let's check out his shop real quick.
Please, don't encourage Dagna further. Tell her you were wrong and that her place is with her family.
I'll make sure she's considered it. Let's see what you've got.
Of course. Keep in mind, we also take items on trade.
As all shops do. Okay. Rock knocker. Physical resistance, that's good. Nothing really standing out. I mean, it's Dragonbone, which is fantastic. Ooh, Dwarven Massive Armor. Wow. Okay, so that is pretty fantastic. Wow. Jeez. I mean, it doesn't have any cool stats on it, but the armor is ridiculously high. It's something to consider. And other than that, nothing really jumps out at me. Okay, let's get out of here.
All right.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to get up to the Diamond Quarter. Oh, and a signpost. Didn't look at this guy before. Diamond Quarter right, proving ground straight ahead. Oh, there it is, through that big door. Okay, well I think next time we'll pick up and we'll go ahead and look at the Diamond Quarter and dive deeper into this civil war they got going on here. Till then.